Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about a very simple topic which most of you have requested me to teach about it and to help you understand, which I will labor to do so today. So I would ask you to pay particular attention to what I'm going to explain and what I'm going to show you, and make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch my videos continuously for better understanding and for easy explanation to your friends as you explain some concepts to them. So let's begin. I'm going to talk about introduction to linear programming. The main focus of this lesson is, at the end of this lesson, we should be able to know how to find an equation from a line joining 2 points. So after you understand everything that I'm going to introduce on linear programming, therefore you should, as a student, be able to find a line and an equation joining 2 points. This is our goal. This is what we want to achieve at the end of everything that I'll introduce to you. But before we reach to this, let's understand the intro of linear programming. First thing first to know, things to always remember before answering or doing any practical work under an equation. Number one, we are saying that these symbols, I'm sure you're so familiar with these symbols. You learned these symbols in your early grades. We're just going to move quickly here and not waste much time. We have this symbol which is less than, this symbol greater than, this symbol which is less or equal to, and this symbol which is greater or equal to. So don't misinterpret these symbols, they are very important. Master them. Let's proceed. Lines to be drawn. Lines drawn when you are given those 4 symbols. Of course, we know the equal sign symbol. We didn't include it there because we are not doing with the equations, but we are doing the equations. That's a difference. So the equal sign symbol, it is only applicable when you are dealing with the equations. When you are dealing with equations. But in this case, we are not dealing with equations. We are dealing with the equations. Henceforth, this will not be applicable in this lesson. So what we are going to do now is to understand the symbols, the lines that are drawn when you have those 4 symbols in linear programming. So we have this symbol which is less than and greater than. What kind of a line are you going to draw? You draw a broken line, e.g., this is a broken line. As you can see, there's a gap there and there's a gap there, there's a gap. These lines are not touching each other. Mind you, it can be a horizontal line or a vertical line, or it can be a slant line like this, as long as it is a straight line. Alright, as long as it is in a straight line. And also we are saying that when you are given this symbol which is less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, you draw a solid line. So these are the key terms. You draw a solid line, e.g., it can be a vertical or a horizontal or a slanty line, but as long as it is a solid line, you are going to be fine. And things to always note under linear programming is that linear programming indicates the relationship arising from a condition presented by a straight line. So here we are simply talking of a straight line. You will not find a line which is in this form or a line which is going to be in this form in linear programming. Once you see this kind of a line in linear programming, then just know that your work is wrong and you will correct your work. You always have to get either solid straight lines or broken straight lines. That is linear programming. Hence, we continue, we move to the next part, which we are saying that where to shade. Because when you're dealing with linear programming, you always have to know that you are going to be asked a question to shade, to show the wanted and the unwanted region. So there are always 2 sides. There are always 2 sides that you are going to be asked to shade, either of them. Wanted region or unwanted region. These are the 2 sides that they'll ask you under linear programming in order for you to shade, to show your work. Between the 2, you may be asked to shade one side. For example, when you're given this symbol, okay, or not, when you're given this symbol which is less than and less than or equal to, or you can see the difference. This is less than symbol, which of course when you draw a line of this symbol, it should be a dotted line. When you're a broken line, I mean, and when you're given this symbol, it should be a solid line. When you're given this less symbol, you always shade the greater side. You always shade the greater side as the unwanted region. What do they mean? So when you have these symbols, you shade the greater side and leave the lesser side, meaning they want the lesser side. The wanted side is the lesser part, and the greater is what they don't want. So the great example I can give is this. Look at this diagram which is here. This solid line is cutting at 2, and they have shown by shading the side which is greater. As you can see, when you start moving from 1, 2, 3, as you go this side, numbers increase, but as you go this side, numbers decrease. So meaning that when you're given this kind of a symbol, just know that you draw a solid line and shade the greater part and leave the lesser side, and you get your answer correct. What about if you're given this kind of a symbol? This symbol is less than but not equal to. So you draw a dotted line, like you can see here, a dotted line which is cutting at 2, and it's showing that we have shaded the numbers which are greater. As you can see, 1, 2, 3. So we don't want numbers which are greater than 2 going this side to 3. We want numbers which are less. So we show it in this manner. The same applies when we are given these symbols which are here. As you can see, this is greater than and this is greater or equal to. So you always shade the lesser. So you shade the lesser side as your unwanted region. Meaning that when you are given this greater symbol, they want the greater part. They don't want the lesser part. So you shade the lesser side. For example, when you are told that this line is cutting at 2, here is cutting at 2 there. Therefore, why are you going to shade? Because the symbol is greater. The line should be solid. This is greater or equal to, the line should be solid. And you shade the lesser side like this. Hence, you have interpreted what this means. And therefore, if you are to apply the lesser symbol, you see this symbol here, it is greater than, not lesser, sorry, but it is greater than. If you are going to draw a diagram with this symbol, it means that your line should be a broken line like this. Should be a broken line. And because it is a greater symbol, you shade the lesser side and leave the greater part as the wanted region. And hence this will help you to understand linear programming better. Let's move to the next page. The next page we are simply saying that note, the key thing here is to note. Lines drawn from north to south are known as X lines. This is very, very important. If you know this there, we are going to have no problems. Lines drawn from north to south are known as X lines. In this case, they will be named according to the number at which it is passing. E.g., if it is passing at 9, the line will be called X is equal to 9. So you don't say Y is equal to 9 when of course the line is drawn from north to south, and then you name it as Y is equal to 9, you get it wrong. For example, let's see the diagram here. You see, this is my Y axis. This is my Y axis, and this is my X axis. This is my X axis. And we see that this line, which is X is equal to 9, it is cutting at the point where 9 is on the X axis. So we are saying that lines that run from north to south are called X lines. Hence, this is an X line, this is X line, this is X line, and it is cutting at 9. So we are going to name it as X is equal to 9. Always remember in linear programming, when you draw a line, make sure you name it to get the full mark. If you don't name the line like we name it here, you will not get the complete mark. So make sure you name it accurately, and you are going to see that the work is easy. Now let's find the Y. Lines drawn from west to east are called Y lines. Good, there we go. Lines drawn from west to east are called Y lines, e.g. if it is passing at 5, the line will be called y is equal to 5. Y is equal to 5. Let's look at the diagram here. We see this line, this is my y-axis, this is my y-axis, and this is my x-axis, and this is my x-axis. Hence, we see that this line which we have drawn here, it is cutting at 5 there, and it is on the y-axis, which is this y-axis. So we are saying that if a line is drawn from west, okay, if a line is drawn from, we are saying west to east, okay. So we are saying that if a line is drawn from west to east, this kind of a line is called Y line. And don't misinterpret it by saying this is X line. No, this is Y line. X line run in this format. These are X line which go like this. But this one is going horizontal, then you know that this is my Y line. And you name it. When you draw it at 5, you even name it as Y is equal to 5. Y is equal to 5. Hence, you are going to get an accurate answer. So having explained the basics that you need to have in order for you to be able to solve questions in linear programming, this information is very important. Make sure you take it serious, go through it, write these notes on your book and understand it on your own free time. Watch the video over and over to make sure that you get the concept. And now you're going to apply it in my next video, showing you the important thing as we looked at finding an equation from a line joining 2 points. As we have noticed from the first board here, this important part here, we talked about finding an inequation. This one, finding an inequation joining 2 points. This will be our next concentration when you have gotten the whole concept that I've shown you on the board, how you interpret the number, the symbols, what kind of lines you draw and where you should shade when you're given the symbols and stuff like that. Hence, this marks the end of this tutorial.